Rise and shine. It is the 26th of October 2024. Welcome to Lumen Morning Diary with me, Henry Mdenda. I'm not alone in the studio. I've been joined by Alice. Good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Still in the mood of celebrating our Diamond Jubilee independence.
Yeah, it is yet another celebration that we are having as Zambians. This is Zambia at 60. This is what we'll be talking about. What is it that you have felt? What is it that you know about this day, Zambia at 60?
Yes. Of course, we would love to hear from our dear viewers how they describe Zambia being at 60. So our dear viewers, we encourage you to also participate. We want to hear your views. What is your say about Zambia being 60? How do you describe Zambia being 60? We want to hear from your opinions. You can simply text us on Facebook, or better still, you can also call us. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, indeed, Zambia at 60, Alice. And then the other thing that we can talk about is we'll have Food for the Soul with Father Arthur. I can't wait to hear something that will fertilize my soul, at least will uplift my soul this time around. You know, these are the days that the word of God has to be taken so seriously, because it is in the last days that we are living in, Alice. Oh
yes, Henry, I would actually concur with you. It's very important to always nourish our souls with the word of God. It's important to grow spiritually.
Yeah, and then on the other side, we'll be joined by General with Mr. Mafuta, who will tell us more about sports, who will take us in the world of sports.
Of course, they do dive in very well. That combination is good. We know General loves sports. We can't wait to hear more in the sports segment, as Mr. Mafuta and General will actually share more about it. Ooh, yes, Henry.
Yeah, and in the health segment, we have Khan, who later on come on the show and give us more about what we need to hear about health. You know, these are the days that we are living in, whereby people get sick, others just collapse because of the heat. It's just too much. I think we need to hear some precautions. What is it that we have to take from that specialist?
And Henry, not forgetting, today is a very, very important day in the Catholic Church, as the men will actually be having a pastoral fund today on the 26th of October. At we had a guest last week, the chairperson of the men's organization on the ADA level, the Archdiocese of Lusaka, who actually shared more information about the event that will actually take place today, which is the Pastoral Fund, and it will be at St. Matthias Mulumba, which is in Bowlen. Looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, and that will also be live on Lumen TV. You can also follow the processions that will be around 10 hours today. And not forgetting, Alice, we'll also have the newspaper pick and what's trending.
Of course.
Yeah. The other thing, Alice, that I've also come to realize and understand, Zambia's independence, is it really felt as independence?
Like, I remember there was this excitement, though I was quite younger, but I do remember the excitement that was there when Zambia clocked 40.
Not 50?
No, the time that it was different, like the celebration when Zambia was clocking 40, it was so different. It was so different. Like, there was just this atmosphere that everywhere you go, people are talking about it, that morale, that zeal. And we had beautiful songs composed by different kinds of artists, and I remember that song still rings until now. when Zambia was clocking 40.
Zambia.
Yes.
You remember that song?
Yes, I remember.
That was a favorite song actually of mine. I remember also when Zambia clocked 50 when we went to Heroes Stadium celebrating Zambia's Jubilee. That was really great, and I've missed those days. Yeah, I've missed those days because only us who were there in the Hero Stadium can actually testify what really took place. The fireworks was overwhelming. You know, it was like more than Christmas Eve, more than New Year's Eve. It was Zambians' independence celebration. We saw the flag being lifted up in the stadium, and everyone was there watching. The morale was high, and everyone felt to be part and parcel of that celebration.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this time, what made you not to be part and parcel? Or maybe you celebrated?
I am part and parcel of the Zambia at 60 celebration. This is why we're bringing it to you live right here on Lumen TV, where we'll discuss more about what you feel about Zambia's independence. Is it really what people treasure the most, or it's something that is an event of the day?
Okay.
Yeah. So Alice, the other thing that I thought of talking about was the event that took place that was on Saturday at Good Shepherd. Was it no, not Saturday.
Was Thursday.
It was Thursday. It felt like Saturday. Today is Saturday again.
On Independence Day.
On Independence Day.
That was a holiday, so I'm sure that's the reason why you felt it was on a Saturday. It was on Thursday.
It was a busy day.
Yes.
That was Independence.
Yes, we saw parishioners of Good Shepherd, Kabata Parish, celebrating independence in style. Yes, they had children activities. We saw children having competitions in cultural dances and in also quiz, and Lumen TV managed to have the kids competition, which is the choir competition, live
on TV.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see what's trending, Alice. What has really made noise in your ears?
Of late, Henry, I don't know if you've actually observed this. On social media, there has been sad stories that have been making headlines. You know, what really puzzled me is a story that touched me of a 13-year-old boy that was making tattoos on his friend, or in the name of you know, as young as 13. How did he come to know about that? This is a story of a boy doing tattoos on his friend in the name of you have power, you know, giving them concoction. Like, how would a 13-year-old boy have all that information? And he was doing it to young boys, as young as 8, 9, in that range. Like, when you come to understand all this, how would a 13-year-old boy have such kind of a knowledge?
Definitely. Where was that?
It happened here in Lusaka. It's all over social media. It's really a sad situation, so to say. If you come to understand, like, these are kids. I remember when we were growing up, these are kids so young, kids that should only be thinking about books, not such kind of things. But when to my concoction, and these are boys.
To make the matters worse, I just overheard that something that was used, was it snake powder or something?
Such kind of things. When you come to imagine it, Henry, really, like, how would somebody as young as that have such kind of knowledge about such things?
Yeah, I think those guys need total deliverance. That's what I'm thinking. But all in all, we need to understand that in Africa, let me just take you back in the old days of Africa. And this happened a week before independence celebration. That was Friday, the other week. So in Africa, there were some rituals that used to to take place, not knowing who stays with that boy, not knowing where that boy saw those things. Definitely she could have seen it from somewhere. It could be from the movies, it could be from the real life, but these are African practices that people also understand to be normal. Tattoos, you know, for you to be identified. There are some initiations, ceremonies celebrated through the same rituals that takes place. But we need to understand also that if you don't believe in those, definitely the boy played a foul, because she had to initiate. He had to initiate different families in the same act, where families were not happy. Maybe they don't believe in those things, and those things, they have implications. Yeah, for me, I wouldn't condone that. That's my comment. I wouldn't condone that, but not knowing from which perspective that person was seeing it from that angle. You know, someone who is 13, definitely they have seen it from somewhere, or maybe something also happened to him, or maybe his friends were also inspired from him. I think this is a story that has to be taken seriously,
yes,
and dig deep.
Yes, definitely somebody who is 13, Henry, it could be there is somebody who taught him. It's just that we don't know the full details about it, and from my thinking, it should be he learnt it from somewhere.
All right.
A 13-year-old can't have all that information and know things that this works for this, this works for this. Definitely there should be somebody who had taught him. And it's really sad that let me just say, it's sad to see a child, maybe it's somebody, a full-grown person, teaching a minor such kind of things.
So unfortunate.
Yes, it's so unfortunate. Kids are kids.
Yeah.
Let's leave them to be kids. Don't take them as grown-ups. I think such things need to be avoided.
For sure, Alice. I think the people that are watching us, they need to know that we are coming from different families, and families have got different beliefs and backgrounds. So do not do something like that to someone's son or someone's daughter. Just because you've done it, if it works for you, let it work for you, and you alone. Definitely don't involve yourselves in such activities. That was unacceptable, Alice.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about another story that also made some headlines, Alice, on the Independence Day.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Independence Day, it has been noted that this year's independence was not well celebrated by a lot of people, because people did not feel to be part and parcel of the independence, not knowing what caused. I've just found out physically from a few individuals how they took this independence, and some posts on the social media didn't pop up according to the way it should be, or what we saw were people posting themselves like a selfie, or maybe going to a Photoshop, do some photos here and there. But it could be some factors that has contributed to this year's independence not well celebrated by Zambians compared to these years that we've compared, 2010 when Zambia was celebrating 50 years of independence, Jubilee celebration, and compared to those days when Zambia was celebrating independence in the Independence Stadium. Yeah, it was not compared to that. It could be some factors, maybe load shedding, or it could be the heat. Yeah, those factors also were some reasons that people were giving.
Yeah, like you've said, Henry, true, like the impact was not all that much compared to. I still go back to the 40 years. I still go back to it.
I think it made memories.
Yes, it made memories, and I remember because we were quite younger, the excitement that was there, and like I'd said, we had different songs performed by different artists, and who could sing. It was all over the streets. We could see in the streets being decorated. It's independence. Wow, the zeal was all over. It was all over. We could dance to it.
Yeah, I think people in the production will do us a favor by playing a song that was composed Zambia at 60. There's a song that was released, Alice. I'm sure on a commercial break, on a musical break, we'll get to listen to that song. Let's dive in the newspaper pick and check what really trended in the paper for this, for the previous day. Yeah.
All right. The headline in the Zambia Daily Mail reads, "We are free to mingle Chitalu Chilufya." MP says barriers between ruling party, opposition party should be broken. Opposition Patriotic Front PF Mansa Central Member of Parliament Chitalu Chilufya says barriers between the ruling party and opposition political parties must come down.
I wish you good, healthy success, happiness and prosperity to all Zambians, to all citizens of Zambia. Putting right to Hichilema. You'll find this story on page number 2 of the Mass newspaper.
I've come across this a mom nabbed after burning son. A 23-year-old woman of Mpongwe has been arrested for assault after she allegedly bent her 8-year-old son for eating food at the neighbor's house.
Engage him through diplomatic channels over fuel crisis. UCA ages UPND. These are the stories that made headlines, and then you find all these stories on page number 2 of the Mass newspaper. Let's not just conclude without talking about sports, Alice. NOGS amends constitution. Yeah, and then in the sports, the back page says we should sharpen our striking force, says under-17 coach. The Zambia under-17 women's football, they are playing in the World's Cup FIFA, and I'm sure you heard, Alice.
Oh yes.
Yeah. This is the story for General and Mr. Mafuta.
We'll hear more.
We'll hear more about this
in the sports segment. Henry, the story that has touched me of a woman who bent her son, her 8-year-old son, simply because the son ate food from the neighbor's house.
Vikali kwa hivyo. Because kudaro nzokamba ati paja osadiapo paja osadiapa. So
but reaching to an extent of burning your own son simply because he ate padi your neighbor.
But do you know that up to now I don't understand why wenzotile sakuja kwa ene wake?
Kai richa mewenzotile sera makolo kujia kwa vene wake bakapika ise bakudya vao stenze kudya nishitibwela nishitakuta.
Okay.
Meaning bakudya vasala chabi.
Okay.
Tumadia kwanu. What's that? Is any problem or what?
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I've learned something from you. But I think the route that the woman took was something which is bad.
Yes, you don't reach to that extent.
To that extent.
You simply, yes, we are not saying you don't have to discipline your own child, but discipline also matters. Burning your child, for what? That's being inhuman.
Yeah,
honestly
for sure.
speaking, because kids are very innocent, and kids have beautiful souls, honestly speaking.
All right, our dear viewers, we are looking at Zambia at 60. In case you've just tuned in on Lumen TV through social media platforms, or in case you're lucky where you are, you have power, you can join us on this lovely topic where we're looking at Zambia at 60, specifically on the achievements. What is it that you feel about this year's independence, Zambia at 60? Are we politically freed, economically free, and spiritually free, in line with those? Let's hear your contribution, your comments. Will really value on this show. And also you can call us on the numbers that are scrolling on the screen by simply participating, and let us know how you are celebrating this year's independence, how you had celebrated it, because we are still in the mood of independence as Zambia. So Alice, before we go on the musical break, I would like to hear from you. How did you celebrate, or how did you take this year's independence?
Well, for me, this year independence had actually found me at Good Shepherd, where the parish was actually celebrating independence in style with the children's competition. I must say that was an exciting day for me, because you get to see children's talent, and just to see and hear the kids talk about independence and the knowledge that they have. I was amazed. You would find somebody who is as young as 6, and the information that they are giving about independence was just so amazing. Yes.
So in line with your ratings, if you look at Zambia at 60 years of independence, and the way we are living at Zambia, as Zambians, do we call ourselves as independent?
Henry, that's a question I was actually asking my dad. Him being there before independence and after independence. Like, I really wanted to get more information, and the information that I got from him was like, we thank God that Zambia got its independence, because it was different. We were not free before we got our independence in 1964. Like, we've heard different stories how we were being treated by the people that were the British people that colonized us. Like, even in shops, we would buy through windows, and or how people were being maltreated, but that actually ended. There were also stories where you would queue up and just to get food, but you can actually see that those things are no longer there. We are slowly
getting there. But we are 60 years now.
We are 60 years. I can't say much about that. I can't say much.
For now, let's take a musical break that will at least make us feel that we are at 60 years of independence. Zambia at 60. Stay tuned.
Zambia wakuna 60 years wakula bada Zambia wakuna unayamba muchacha chati yende pamozi wakuna kwa mule toto Happy birthday Zambia Zambia wakuna wina ngondo Zambia wakuna Happy birthday Zambia Zambia ichalo chesu
aji imyaka sikisite okwabulo kutintana ipatriotism iyabulo kutenkana awe nakaya
tiende pamozi ndimtima umozi tiende pamozi ndisantu amozi Zambia wakoma twaitusangalale tukwatanganija pamono bebana babwanga 60 years wakoma na Zambia 60 years wakoma na Zambia mara kwamula ungelo nyandale 1960 lwanilendwa kachenurena iulile oh mirwa ikola 60 years wakula mada Zambia wakula seli tuseve yanga yanga mada Zambia wakula
Psalms Media Music.
Dwesa Sowene Mungule, pa St. Anton Section Choir, mbali pa St. Peter's Parish, pa 10 miles. Alwimbo lwanguluko na Independence muchisongo. Katieno Rwanda. And love. Under one roof. And love. Under one roof.
Welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by Father Arthur. Father, good morning.
Good morning, Alice.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
Yes, Father, food for the soul. We are always eager.
Food for the soul.
And hungry.
Yeah. All right. So today I thought we could talk about self-praise.
Okay.
Self-praise to attract a blessing. Yeah. And when I talk about self-praise, I'm not talking about pride. I'm not talking about bragging. Yeah. Because that could be the negative side of self-praise. But self-praise where you talk well of yourself. Yeah. See, in this world there are so many people that talk bad of themselves because they are disappointed with themselves. They're disappointed with the things that they've done in the past. Maybe they've made a lot of mistakes, so they feel disappointed. And they're so angry, not with anybody, but with themselves. And that has, in a way, attracted, or not attracted, a blessing upon themselves. So I thought we could reflect on self-praise in the positive manner, without bragging about one's achievements and all. It is important to talk well of yourself, because that opens doors to blessings. You when you talk well of yourself, you attract a blessing from God, and when you attract a blessing from God, you become a blessing yourself to other people. Just that when they meet you, when they see you, all they see is nothing but a blessing in you. But when you speak bad of yourself, even when nobody is listening to that bad talk of yourself, but when you just consider yourself as this bad person, you close those doors we're talking about of blessing, and you certainly don't become a blessing yourself to other people. It is important to talk about, to say something nice about yourself, regardless of the things that have happened. Regardless, who is perfect? Nobody's perfect in this. We've all made mistakes in our lives. But that does not mean that we have to condemn ourselves. We have to always speak bad of ourselves. Even at church, there are people that maybe have been given responsibilities. Could be in the Smokeson community or lay group or committee or whatever group, church grouping. So they've been given a responsibility, or the church wants to give them a responsibility. Now, since they consider themselves as good for nothing, because maybe they have a broken past, they tend to push that blessing to other people. They tend to say, I don't think I have what it takes to hold this position or to take up this responsibility. Sometimes they'll accept to take that responsibility, but just look at the way they execute their duty. It will tell a whole story of what they think and what they feel about themselves. It's important for people to accept who they are, the things that have happened in their past, with a view of making their life better, with a view of making their story, their personal story, an inspirational story to other people. Nobody will ever honestly come to tell you that their past has been smooth and has been perfect. Certainly not. Everybody goes through a rough patch at one point or another. But that does not mean that you have to condemn yourself. You have to push yourself into that corner and say, I can't even stand in front of the church to read because of A, B, C, D. Everybody deserves to stand in front of the church. Everybody deserves to be a leader, regardless of who you are. But what is important is to work on yourself, positively work on yourself, not to be a perfect person, but to be a better person, so that your story, your life becomes something that can inspire another person. It becomes a blessing to another person. Talk well of yourself.
Oh, yes.
To attract a blessing.
Important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Father, yes, I would concur with that. It's always important to actually speak positive about yourself. Like there's this saying that says there is power in positive thinking. Like when you think positive, then positive things will always attract you. Like it all starts with yourself. Like, okay, even if somebody doesn't tell me I'm beautiful, I am beautiful. I am confident. I know I can do this. Even if there are other people that actually look down on you, build yourself. Don't wait to be told you can do this. It all starts with yourself. You need to encourage yourself. I love that, Father.
Yeah, and just to add on, like you said, you need to build yourself. You don't need someone to tell you that, no, you can do this. You know, most of the times, if we don't have our self-confidence, we tend not to do things that we can do. You know, there are people that actually see that we can go higher, but probably they are kind of jealous. They fail to tell us. And they say, okay, Udia, blessings, but they even know you can do it. And then the other thing is, like Father said, there's power in the tongue. You know, when you keep speaking good about yourself, good will follow you.
Oh, yes.
See, at national level, we talk about patriotism. Be patriotic about your country, speak well of your country. When you are abroad there, studying or working or living outside there, sell the beautiful side of Zambia, all that. The same can be applied at personal level. You know, be patriotic to yourself. You know, for a moment, forget about the dark spots. You certainly have those brighter spots. Talk about those. Let the strength that you hide within yourself come out. Let it visible. Let it be visible. It should not be overshadowed by the very fact that you were a thief at one point. That should not. That was just like a phase, a bad phase in your life, and you're not there anymore. You came out of it, but that bad phase should not overshadow the fact that you gave a cup of water to somebody that was dying at some point. So when you are patriotic to yourself, you bring out those brighter side, brighter spots of your life, so that what comes out is the strong you and not the weak you, because the weak you is something that now is in the past. But we keep on bringing it back and pushing ourselves back into that past, so that we become we continue to be the person that we were before. But what we are saying here is, talk about those positive elements of yourself. Let those come out and use those as points to attract a blessing from God, and use those also to become yourself a blessing to other people. Let people know that it is possible for one to come out of a rough patch. It is possible for one to become a better person than they were before. Let people talk about that and let people be inspired. Sometimes you just meet somebody who, they are seated, they are all depressed about what they did in 1974. And because whenever they remember it hurts them so much. If they remembered it in the middle of the meal, they even stop eating because it was so bad. As a mirror and see my 1964. Asafa kana nsimba mumbali face wazankara kwa na batontomesha na menzu pa mufisi kwati bale tontonganya fia kubakula, and so you meet such people, they remember. You need to we're talking about independence.
Yes.
Liberate yourself also from such things for you to attract a blessing. Liberate yourself. Come out of those things. Liberate yourself from thinking you're a bad person or you are still a bad person. And when you liberate yourself from that, a lot of doors open of blessing and of opportunities. Whatever is pushing you back into your past, liberate yourself from that. And that is what we are also trying to do in Zambia, I think. As we talk about independence, we are liberating ourselves from whatever kept us in bondage. We want to say, maybe we have not done as we hoped we could do, but we can still do better.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things to work on, yes, fine. but we are certainly not as bad as we were before.
Yeah.
We have liberated ourselves from that, and therefore we are opening doors of blessing.
Yeah, Father, so there's a question. What's the difference between bragging, pride, and speaking good of yourself?
Wow. Okay. I'll start with the bragging. Bragging is where you talk about what you have, the good things you have, where you talk about yourself in that good way, but not with the intention of inspiring, with the intention of saying, I'm better than you. Okay. So it's all about intention. Why are you talking about the good side of you, or the expensive one that you have? Is it for me to inspire you so that you also work hard too? But it's just to say, you see, we are not at the same level. Stay in your own level. I don't belong there anymore. I moved, my friend. My status has changed. We are not mates anymore. That's bragging.
Okay.
Yeah. Pride is very much related to bragging, and here I want to think we are talking about the negative pride, because there is also positive pride in a way where the parent can tell the child, I'm proud of you, or I'm proud of myself. That positive pride. But if we talk about the common pride, the negative pride is so much related to bragging, where you just want to go and stand at the top of the mountain and blow the trumpet for yourself, so that everybody sees how a good person you are, how a helpful person you are. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to say there's so much difference between bragging and pride. If anything, these are two ways that can be interchangeable. Yeah. But praising yourself, is it?
Speaking good of yourself.
Oh, speaking good of yourself. Speaking good of yourself has at the back of it the intention to inspire another person. That yes, we've all been there. We've all gone through those dark moments. But it is possible. If I came out of that, it is possible that you can also come out of it. So you speak good of the better person that you have become today, so that you inspire. It's all about the intention, because there is also speaking good of yourself, which is negative, and it goes direct into bragging and pride. But like self-praise, okay. If we term it like that, self-praise becomes some form of pride or bragging. But when you are speaking good of yourself, your intention is to inspire another person, to say, we can't just be talking about the negative things that we have done. Let's talk about the good things. Let me talk about the good things that I've done. Not to tell you that you are not better than me, or I am better than you, but to inspire you that where I am, you can also be. But these are the things that you need to overcome first before you get to where I am. We do have people that are doing well in the world of business, for example. And some of these have never even been to university.
Exactly.
They never had the opportunity to be educated, but they kept pushing until they got to where they are now. So because they kept pushing, they opened up doors of opportunities for themselves, and they attracted a blessing. And so now today what they are is a blessing now to those that are also struggling. So they are going to talk about themselves. They're going to talk about the achievements that they've scored, not to say they are better than everybody else, but to inspire another person out there who is going through a dark patch to say, I have been there, but if I overcame that, you can also overcome it. Keep pushing until you get to where I am. So that is speaking good of oneself in order to inspire. Bragging belongs to the side of the devil. Please don't brag. Pride is the mother of all sins. Please
Please. I've got self-pride in me. You know, I've got pride.
That belongs to the devil. What belongs to God is speak good of yourself to inspire another person out there. Yeah. But it's okay for a parent to be proud of their son or daughter. It's okay, because that is a whole different concept. Yeah. So a parent should not feel guilt when they say, I'm proud of you. Or even yourself shouldn't feel guilt when you say, or you achieve something, say, I'm proud of myself. You are not bragging. You're just saying, I thought I could not achieve this, but I am proud of myself. So that is positive pride, if you like. But there is that pride that belongs to the devil, which is very close to bragging, or it is actually bragging itself. And here we are saying no to that.
Okay. Well, Father, thank you so much for sharing with us, especially the importance of self-praise, of course, which attracts the blessings of God. Because praise kaja, pride. Our topic, Father, today is Zambia at 60. What is your say about that? How would you describe Zambia at 60?
Is everything going in the right direction?
Is everything going into the right direction?
Are we getting there?
Are we getting there? I want to be positive about this.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, the temptation to be negative is very high.
I know.
Especially when you think about it on shit.
Exactly.
You just want to start cursing. Yeah. But allow me to, at least for once, or not for once, but for today, to be positive, regardless of whatever is not going right. But I think it is important for us to appreciate what we have now.
Yes.
Those that were there before independence will tell you how it was before they got independence, and I think they appreciate more than ourselves that were not there. Yeah. It is important for us, first of all, to appreciate them and all the efforts that they made. Some of them are still alive. You know, the other day you had an interview.
Yes, with Mr. Mark
Shona. He was there, and the other day I was watching an interview of Mr. Venon Mwanga. So some of them are still alive. It's important for us to appreciate what they did. At least they gave us political independence. That everything came into our hands, and we are now able to shape a path for ourselves. Through them, God gave us an opportunity to map the future for the future of our country. Now, whether what happened later was good or not good, that is not the question. The point is just to appreciate what they did, because colonization is everywhere. Colonization is not good. So we appreciate them. Is everything going right? I would say there is still room for improvement. Certainly, a lot of things have gone bad over the years. We are where we are because of certain bad decisions that were made at some point. But this is not the final destination. There's still an opportunity for us to make things better, especially for those that are in government, those that are presiding over the affairs of the country. They still have the opportunity to make things right, especially those that are within their powers to make right. They need to especially look at the plight of the poor, the vulnerable, and make policies that respond to that plight. Is there something to celebrate about? Certainly there is something to celebrate about. Peace.
Yes.
But let me talk about peace from a Catholic point of view. Okay. First of all, the Catholic Church looks at peace as another word for development. Where there is peace, there is development. When you read our social Catholic social teachings, you find that line that where is there is peace, there is development. These are like two sides of the same coin. You go to countries where there is civil war or war between countries, you see the havoc that these things cause. There's no development. Infrastructural development is nothing to talk about. Personal development is nothing to talk about. Everything just goes down to ashes or to nothingness. So at least we have peace from that perspective. We don't have war to bring down Zambia. But our social teachings also remind us, and this is very important, that peace is not just the absence of war. Peace is bigger than just the absence of war. You might not have war quite right, war as we understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
We might not have that kind of war. But if you are in a country where people cannot actually enjoy that peace, okay? Where the majority of the people cannot enjoy the basic needs, they can't afford the basic needs, then that destroys the concept of peace.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why we are saying those that have the opportunity to preside over the affairs of the country have also another opportunity to make things better, to make this peace we are talking about a concrete reality, or a reality, especially in the vulnerable, in the compound, and those that are living below the poverty belt and all that. They have the opportunity to make their life better by making peace not just to be the absence of war. Because some people want to talk about that. They are fought. Fine, we appreciate that we don't have wars, civil wars and all that like in other countries. But there's still more that we need to do to make this peace meaningful by providing, Zambians, they don't even ask for much. They don't ask you to give them gold and silver and all that. They're just asking for the basics.
Exactly.
Just give them the basics. Give them water. Give them education. Give them health. Give them what? Food, eh?
Yes.
The food must cheap. Give them what? Give them reduce the prices of these fertilizer, the seeds, water. Just give them that. Or you'll be there dying.
Exactly.
Well, Father, thank you so much for enriching us with the word. We've been blessed.
Thank you so much, and see you next week.
Okay. Oh, that was Father Arthur sharing with us at the Ford. Father, so I believe you've been blessed. You've learned something about self-praise, of course, to attract the blessing of God. For now, we go on a break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back.
Zambia wakuna 60 years wakula Mata Zambia wakuna Unayamba muchachacha Tiende pamozi wakuna Pamule toto Zambia wakuna
Happy birthday Zambia.
Zambia wakuna
Wina Ngondo.
Zambia wakuna Happy birthday Zambia. Zambia wakuna Mata Zambia
Tiende pamozi, dimtima umozi. Tiende pamozi, nisantu amozi.
Zambia wakoma, twaitu sangalale. Tukwatanga neja pamono bebana babwanga. 60 years wakoma na Zambia. 60 years wakoma na Zambia. Kwa mula ongelo nyanda 1960
Father Zambia wakula 60 years wakula Father Zambia wakula unayamba muchachacha tiende pamozi wakula kwa ule kondo Zambia wakula
Happy birthday Zambia Wina Ngondo
Happy birthday Zambia
Ela wachita shanyako One Zambia, one nation Isha tumpundu Twadina kukabaka na lelu tudichuwayi Twadina kudila dila lelu tudichuwayi Zambia yeji machuwayi Mudichuwayi Mwenilunga yeji machuwayi Mudichuwayi Kabanda yeji machuwayi
Sikiri, tezo kutikase Tezo kona mumwamba Ntawu ya kolonyoye Majewona wakula Masa Zambia iwe Dirina mtendere Muziko natu Mama happy birthday Yeah Happy birthday Zambia Wende pomwi Amoyo omwi Wende pomwi Amoyo omwi Wende pomwi Amoyo omwi Wende pomwi Amoyo omwi
60 years wakula Father Zambia wakula
Welcome back, and it is now the health segment with Mr. Khan here, who will tell us more about the health measures that we're supposed to take, especially that we are in the rain season. It rained twice here in Lusaka, not knowing in different parts of the country, but it's very much important to understand that this season comes with a lot of complications, a lot of diseases, and right up now we'll be talking about the waterborne diseases. These are common things. Whenever you hear about rain season in Zambia, it is now our tradition that cholera is a must, but not knowing what we have to know and learn together here at Lumen TV. You are free to participate. Let us know your views, your contributions, and also you can call in to tell us where you're watching from and also what you know about the health disease, the waterborne diseases that we'll talk about. Mr. Khan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to come and join you and talk on a burning topic. Every year, as you said, we do face the something or the other during the rainy season, and we see the rise of those kind of diseases.
Yes.
And it's important for us to take precautions from the beginning itself, so that it doesn't get a epidemic kind of situation. Mm-hmm. Right? As you talk about the waterborne diseases, we need to understand what are those diseases first, and how do we differentiate it, so that how can we work closely on those to avoid those kinds of situations. See, any infection, if you look at any infection or disease spreads from the infected person to the other person via different sources. You know that there are different routes to spread the infection, and when we talk of the waterborne diseases, it is the water is the source or the medium through which it spreads. So here we are talking more about how to stop the contamination of water, which leads to the further infection. Mm-hmm. The contamination of water occurs at the various level. But those contaminated water, when we look at, we normally we use it in our regular, practice. Either washing the food, contaminated water. We wash the food with contaminated water. We wash our utensils with contaminated water, and then restore the contaminated water, and that goes into our system, and that leads to the diseases. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we need to check those kind of situations where the contamination doesn't occur. Yeah? And this contamination occurs normally due to the improper disposal of the human waste, right? When there is the fecal material get mixed with our water sources or so and so, then that leads to the contamination of water. Yeah.
All right. So what waterborne diseases are we talking about today?
Well, we talk about the waterborne diseases. We categorize into the two different part. One, the infective agent itself, right, and the others are the host, right. So the infective agents could be it could be a viral, it could be a bacterial, it could be a protozoan, it could be leptospirosis. And if you talk about the host, normally you find the snails and all that, which is normally into the water bodies. Yeah. So when we look at the your viral infection, it could be hepatitis A, it could be hepatitis E, it could be the rotavirus, it can also be the diarrhea, right? If you talk of your bacterial infections, the most common ones are the typhoid fever, paratyphoid fever, E. coli diarrhea, cholera is the ones. Protozoans infections are basically your amoebiosis and the leptospira, as I talked about. When we talk about the host, those the snails normally find in the water bodies, and those leads to the your schistosomia, right? So these are some of those the diseases which are caused by either the host or caused by the infection agent itself.
All right. So looking at Zambia, our country, many other times we always use what is available, and in so many parts of the country you find that with this load shedding and the like, maybe they will have other options of water. When it rains, others would take buckets, put where the roofing sheets water drop, and then they drop into the same buckets. That is what is available at that particular time. So what are the precautions that people are supposed to take, especially this rainy season?
Yep. See, we need to understand the risk factor first, right? Where the contamination is occurring from, right? Okay. Yeah. That we have to look at. The risk factors could be see, as you talked about the open source of water, the wells and all that, the step wells and all that, where the water is stored and is open. So this is one of those risk factor when we consume those waters for the drinking purposes.
Okay.
The second risk could be the source where there is open defecation and it get mixed with the water. Those are some of the risk factors which can lead to the contamination. The third risk could be the inconsistent supply of the water itself.
Okay.
Sometimes the water is not supplied for 3-4 days, and then again the water comes, and you open the tap, you find the dirty water coming out. And those in those pipes, sometimes it get the infective agents. They grow there. Okay. So those is one of the sources where you get these ones. Other source could be for the water. This one is the contamination from the source, or when the pipe itself is broken somewhere, and then different agents enter into the system. So those are the things where the risks, and we need to be conscious while consuming those. Maybe the cleaning, chlorination, or maybe the warming before or boiling the water before consuming it is one of the things which we need to consider before drinking, or decontamination before drinking. Yeah.
All right, these are the things that we always talk about, especially this time around, to sensitize our people out there. Mr. Khan, before you go, Zambia is celebrating 60 years of independence.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do you feel to be part of it as well, since you're Zambian now?
Of course, I'm Zambian now. I'm here in the country for more than 10 years, and as a professional, we're serving the people for the last 10 years into the same segment of the healthcare, into the diagnosis segment. So we are much more Zambian than anything else now, and I'm well settled here, and I'm a resident of Zambia now. So, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Do you enjoy the same independence?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have traveled to various countries, worked in different countries, but for the last continuous 10 years I'm in the country, and I have this I have enjoyed being here more than anywhere else.
All right, thank you so much. That was Mr. Khan, who is enjoying the peace that we are all enjoying as Zambia. And today's topical focus, we are looking at Zambia at 60. And right up now, we'll go on a short break, and we'll be joined by Genera and Mr. Mafuta in the world of sports. But later on, that will be Genera and Mr. Mafuta. Mr. Khan, before we go on a break, I have this question for you. If we look at Zambia now at 60, you are in Zambia now. Zambia is celebrating 60 years of independence. You've traveled to so many countries. Many of the times people don't appreciate what they have in Zambia. You having that experience, what is it that you found to be different from these other countries that Zambia has?
The sense of freedom itself. You know, as you are celebrating the 60th year of independence, the sense of freedom itself, the freedom to move anywhere, the freedom to interact with anybody, the freedom to talk openly, to speak your mind, is something which I enjoyed the most being here. Yeah, okay. And plus what I like the most is the people itself, very, very friendly, very cooperative. And I find in our profession, we find the huge lot of talent locally available to complete the task. So we don't find the dearth of talent in the country. We as a chain of diagnostic labs operating in various countries, we have only 2 people expatriates and almost 60 people local. And that talks about the kind of talent we have in the country. And that's what I like the most. And then people are absolutely extremely knowledgeable when it comes to the professional conduct.
Right, Zambia at 60, people have different views, as we've heard Mr. Khan talked about the peace that we have in Zambia. Let's hear other views from the people that we met in different societies. Let's take a look at the clips.
And happy independence.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Happy independence too.
Thank you. Father, how would you describe today's event being Children's Festival? What is your say about it?
It is an extraordinary day, especially that this event is held on this day that the whole of Zambia is celebrating independence, especially Zambia at 60. So there was no other better way of marking this day. And as a church, we are so glad to have these children perform like they did. And it is a sign to us that the future is bright, not only for the country, but also for the church.
My name is Claire Katongo from Good Shepherd Parish. I'd love to wish my mother Zambia a 60 independence this year that we are celebrating. I just want to say it's good to have the nation like Zambia. Despite having ups and downs, we are at peace. Though our economy is shaky, but we are there. As you can see at our parish, we are celebrating our 60 independence in style, where we have brought up our children to celebrate with the parents. They are participating in various activities, choir, poetry, and Bible quiz. We love our nation so very much. That's why we are a Christian nation. We are there to pray for our our country. Thank you.
My name is Asame Ongoma. So I want to share briefly about my experience of Independence Day celebrations. And this came in when I was asked the question, do I really or do we really understand the true meaning of Independence Day? So according to my own experience and explanation, I feel this day is much understood and celebrated by our forefathers, who were actually part and parcel of how this independence came about. But the problem I find it now is that the questions I find now is, was this culture passed on to our generation, like my generation? Did I really understand the true meaning of independence for me to pass it on to the generation to come after me? If today we look around, we have so many children dressed in our Independence Day colors, in our colors as Zambia. But are those colors really explained to these children that are today wearing them? And if you look at the celebrations, even when they are held today, what cultural presentations do these celebrations come with? What is it that is vividly shown to the people to say, this is our national minerals, this is gold, this is copper, this is that? There's nothing truly. Because now I feel Independence Day has become political. Now the question you would ask, or the question I would ask you is Independence Day political? Because I don't think so. Now it is politically celebrated. It is not supposed to be politically celebrated. If it is politically celebrated, it means the very political party in ruling now gives us their own agenda, their own way of celebrating it. No, I feel it's not supposed to be like that, because back then it wasn't politically celebrated. So if we would change, perhaps if we would change and remove politics to this day, then maybe it would be celebrated in a way that it carries our cultural meaning as Zambians. But for now, it actually feels like an international celebration, much less than a local celebration. This is my view, and this is my submission. I love Zambia, I'm a Zambian, and I love my country. And my plea is that let's embrace the cultural existence of these things that we tend to celebrate. Independence Day, trade fair celebrations, agriculture and commercial show celebrations, they have lost meaning because now everything is become political. If we remove politics in these celebrations, these cultural celebrations that we're supposed to have, then we'll experience the true meaning of these celebrations as my generation and as generations to come. Thank you.
Happy Independence! My name is Mampalo Kangwa. I'm from Good Shepherd Parish, Lusaka. So I want to tell you what I know about independence. The only thing I know about independence is that I only know that independence is something for our country. We celebrate our Zambia, and we wish each other happy independence. So happy independence, Mother Zambia. Thank you.
My name is Wandi Sophia Namwinga, and I'm here to tell you about independence. Here at Good Shepherd Catholic Altar Church. Independence was gained in 1964 by our first president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, and many other freedom fighters. We now have our own flag with different colors on it, and I'm going to explain these colors. Green meaning the vegetation that's in the life of the plants. Red meaning the blood that was shed during the war for independence, because our freedom fighters were jailed several times and were beaten up several times, were kept as slaves, and we never had any rights in Zambia. The orange color on the Zambian flag stands for minerals of Zambia that are mined in copper belt mainly, and this copper that's mined there is our main export. And then the black color on the Zambian flag represents the black people of Zambia, and it identifies our identity.
Wow. That was the message about independence. Zambia at 60. I'm amazed about how kids have much information about independence, General.
Yeah, they truly have a lot of information, and I'm glad. I'm actually proud of the other little girl that really explained the colors of the flag. You know, I don't think there are people that don't really know what the colors stand for. And I quoted that guy, right, that said, you know, it's like we're shunning away from these celebrations. I heard you earlier, you said aja kudala ngani independence ibwena. Nishi bantu amba kudala ma preparations ono manyumba kwenzo ngala ma independence parties and all that. You know, you'll be eager. Zambia at 60, but people were even working on Independence Day. Do you know that? In other companies, people were busy working. When I asked them, why are you working today? They were like, still na sevens it is adiachani then.
This is the bad reality. The sad reality. You know,
yes,
patriotic Zambians should think and feel that this is their day. There is no any other day that this Zambia was going to be called Zambia apart from that day. That there was no any other day that Zambia had a flag than this other day.
Exactly.
So it was on that day that that flag was introduced as our identity as Zambians. The meaning of those colors should be really embraced and felt. You know, many other times I feel, and then it hates me the most, say Zambia is a country whereby people would talk about orange representing minerals of Zambia, but how many Zambians physically know their minerals? Because minerals, imagine just taking some of the minerals to this secondary school so that people get to know what they are, who they are. I mean, just the normal copper oil that is represented by our national flag. Very few people know about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I, for one, I think on this Independence Day, there are so many things that have to be talked about, so many things to learn, so many things to embrace, and so many things to do as Zambians. Because people that feel that they are Zambians are only people that have those privileges to rule Zambia at that particular time. Yes. This is what I feel, General. Because
just to cut you short, Henry, before you proceed. You know, it's very sad to hear the ages of our mothers and our fathers say, independence yanzeko kudala. Nanga is why can't we celebrate the independence that they used to celebrate? Is it that we are having greedy leaders or what?
This
because after the independence, people would go drink. And you know, Father mentioned earlier saying, once you treat Zambians like that.
I have a different opinion about that.
Bring it out.
I think it all starts with ourselves. We don't have to. It starts with ourselves. Have we educated our children about independence? I remember us growing up, our grandparents, our parents would tell us the importance of independence. Believe me, if you don't teach your children how Zambia fought independence, who were in the forefront, just the importance of it, it's not all about political things, but it's about the individual. It's about you, Henry. It's about you, General. It's about me, Alice. It's not. We shouldn't sideline it
Let me take you back in the maybe 10 years down the line, when Independence Stadium was still functional. People would gather in Independence Stadium. I came to learn about Freedom Statue recently. Well, to say Independence Day. This is the reality. Imagine, I can always talk about what.
When we learned it in school, where were you?
I mean, Freedom Statue related to independence, and independence, the venue. The Freedom Statue being the venue for the independence, the main venue where the whole nation should assemble. This is what I'm talking about.
And you know, that place is just too small. And how will we get our drinks and our biscuits? Okay, just like one of your people in the field said, let's stop politicizing these days.
Yes.
Imagine.
Independence is for all Zambians, no
yes.
matter which party they are coming from. Let's unite as a country. I hope 61 will be a blast, because 60 was a disappointment.
It was a
on my
very
part.
big disappointment.
But
Let me not. It's good that we have both sides here representing both parties.
Maybe you had a lot of things to do this.
Because I had a different excitement about it, because if you get to hear, because I had this opportunity to interview Mr. Mark Chona, who is rather a freedom fighter, and I got to hear more about what had actually happened before independence and after independence. So I would say people that were there before independence can actually give more information how it was before and how it is now. Believe me, we also need to give credit where it's supposed to be given. There is this peace that we are enjoying in our nation.
Peace we have.
The whole thing, the whole thing that we're talking about, Alice, is Zambia at 60. We are making an evaluation.
Yes.
What is it that Zambia is looking at now? Yeah, those people that fought for independence, they did a very good job. Trust
Remarkable
me,
job.
If we are to put,
we are here because of them.
Exactly.
If we are to put any leader now to fight for Zambia, it was like those days, I would die for Zambia.
Oh yes.
Do we still have those people? This is what we have to look at. To say, okay, imagine someone fought for independence back then, and then coming to see Zambia to be where it is now, the current state of Zambia, politically, economically, spiritually, everything. You mean? I'm not talking about what Zambia is now. I'm talking about us Zambians. Are we still embracing what our forefathers fought for?
No, we're shining away.
Yes.
And I also had the chance to talk to other people. They were actually complaining, Zambia is turning 1060.
Yeah.
And we have more foreigners that are now having Zambian jobs. It's like the power has been given to foreigners and all that. So it's like people are like, are we going back to the colonial way or what? They are what don't say. I'm a foreigner number, Emma Bossezi, and mistreating us. I don't think you guys even talked about that trending story.
Which one?
Of the boy that was beaten by dogs. They had to cut the hands.
The hands. That one.
And then the foreigners actually offered them a bag of meal as compensation.
That story, Alice.
That story is really touching, and the sad part about it is that this incident happened in January.
Yes.
And they did not after that incident had happened, and we're in October now, they kept quiet. They didn't follow up about how the situation of the boy is, how he's coping up, just to give in support.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Such that let me exhaust just some few points of how Zambia's was a few years down the line, especially in rural areas. We had Zambia, we had Zambians who used to get land from the chiefs, the headmen. Free land for free, go and cultivate, getting back the land. Not too long ago, when KK was alive, talked about getting back to the land. Let's go back to the land, because it is from this land that people fought for. People did not fight for individuals. People fought for this land because they knew what this land had. But see what is happening to most Zambians. It could be because of some challenges here and there. They tend to change some policies whereby that land which was given for free in some rural areas, now it is being sold. This is the reality, General. This is the reality, because trust me, you cannot go to the headman to say, this is my village, I'm back to my village, I need a piece of land. Where on earth? Where in Zambia?
You know why I laughed? I keep asking myself, those people that sell land,
no, it was that land that was given for free. I mean, the same land that was fought for.
Imagine.
Yes. I think this time around we have corrupt leaders. Let me say so. People that have selfish gains for Zambia. Selfish motives behind Zambia. Because Father talked about it. Let's have clear motives, pure motives for the people that we are leading.
Okay, all right. We are talking about independence as Zambia being 60, which is a diamond jubilee. Yes,
in dark mode.
In dark mode. I would still say my parents would taught me to always appreciate even the little that you've been given. I'd still go back to my words of saying, in as much as we may have the ups and downs in our nation, but there is always this credit that you have to give, which is the peace that we enjoy. Like Father had also mentioned earlier on, yes, we have this peace in our nation. We have, back then, if you compare it now, we have more universities. Before we only had, I remember we only had 2 universities, but the schools keep on increasing. Give credit where it's supposed to be given, which is very important.
I know. Let's not politicize this.
Yes,
I know where Alice is going.
But
and,
yes,
I respect,
we respect your opinion. Thank you so much. I wish we could actually go on and on. But time is not with us, Henry. Thank you for your opinion. You are watching Lumen Morning Diary, and today we were talking about Zambia at 60, in celebrating our independence. You can also, don't forget that Lumen TV is on Top Star on channel 101. You can also follow us on our Facebook page, Lumen TV Official. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Lumen TV, and follow us on TikTok.
And don't forget that you can advertise this program, or you can advertise on this program. You are free, whether you have a barber shop, a canteen, whatever small business that you're running, feel free to call the numbers that are always scrolling on the screen to come and be part of the Lumen TV crew.
Yes, and thanks to everyone that watches Lumen TV, participates, and don't forget that, yes, our show is open for sponsorship. You can actually sponsor Lumen Morning Diary by simply contacting our marketing department. Thank you. It's been a wonderful journey of Lumen Morning Diary. From us, it's bye-bye.
Bye-bye.